An interlude of peace. The fairy West. Henry Lawson. I wrote and sang of the bush we never had known in youth in the western land, of the dear old homes by the shining river, the deep, clear creeks and the hills so grand. The grass waved high on the flat and siding, the wild flowers bloomed on the banks so fair, and younger sons from the north came riding to vine-clad homes in the gardens there. We wrote and sang, and the Lord knows best, oh, those dear old songs of the fairy West. We dreamed and sang of the bustling mother, the brick-floored kitchen we saw so clear, the pranks and jokes of the youngest brother, the evening songs of our sisters dear. The old man dozed in the chimney corner, or smoked and blinked at the cheerful blaze, or yarned with the crony, old Jack Horner, who'd known him back in the digging days. We worked and sang, and the Lord knows best, oh, those dear old homes of the fairy West. By tracks that ran up the granite ridges the children played on their way from school, by the fairy dells and the sapling bridges, and stole a swim in the willowed pool. And home they flocked with their ceaseless chatter, till, happy and tired, and washed and fed, the wash came after. It don't matter, they said their prayers and they went to bed. We worked and dreamed, and the Lord knows best, oh, those dear old ways of the fairy West. We rose at daylight, refreshed and hearty, and drank our tea while the children slept. We worked with the zest of a camping party, while the morning breeze through the gum trees crept. We worked till the signal of breakfast ready, and ate our fill of the good land's best. And Jimmy and Mary, and Nell and Teddy, and all the children were washed and dressed. Oh, those grand old farms of pleasure and rest in the fairy tales of the golden West. 'Twas a land overflowing with milk and honey, and eggs and bacon and butter and beer. We came to Sydney, with whips of money, to see the world about twice a year. The girls got married to rich young farmers, and did no work save to populate. And we had the pick of the city charmers and took our brides to the country straight. We dreamed and sang, and the Lord knows best, oh, those dear old dreams of the fairy West. 2. I dreamed last night of those days long vanished, and buried in bitterness out of sight. The scene was gone and the folk were banished, and this is the vision I saw last night. It may be false and it may be real. It may be wrong and it may be right, a sort of set off to the grand ideal. We'll call it a vision of sandy blight. We dreamed and sang, and you know the rest, the sandy blight in the wondrous West. The daylight comes to the skillion window, a hole with never a breath of air, and never a pane of glass to hinder the reek from the pigsty adjacent there. The skillion cowers in the daybreak ghostly, criminal-like, as skillions do. It is fashioned of bark and bagging mostly, and furnished with bark and bagging, too.